Rogue versus Rogue, Axe versus the Smeshka, Sub versus Assassin. I actually think the Sub Rogue, if the Assassination Rogue plays mildly okay here, they win every single time. Sub Rogue can definitely do a lot of damage, but I think actually Sub Rogue, if they play Assassin Rogue, if they play mildly okay, they can win with just dots alone because they are brutal. It's going to be Gouge. Actually gives Axe a chance, but no, he doesn't take the chance. It's going to go for a trick and cheap shot into the Smeshka. Opportunity for you to get some dots up and running. If you get yourself the big damage, you go for some damage with a Shiv. Melt right after. There are some dots on the Smeshka. If you are careful, you should be able to see where he's at. He is bleeding out little by little. But if you can go for like a big Kingsbane couple in Venoms, it's crazy, crazy good. But Axe, however, taking a little bit of damage of his own. Is he also ruptured? Because actually in the Smeshka, I think it's really good if you do end up getting a big rupture on the other guy. Because then at least it denies him the ability to heal. And you know what? Enjoy this rupture for now because you're going to be losing that later. Which is going to be super unfortunate. The Smeshka does land the cheap shots back to back after Axe. Doing a lot of damage. Massive eviscerate. Does go for another advantage. Catching the cheap shot on Smeshka. Does go for a trinket of his own. Evasion for both rogues. Axe with the Cloak of Shadows. Kingsman, I think, connected onto Smeshka with him Deathmark. Actually could be under a lot of trouble. Smeshka does get hit with a disarm. Disarm onto Axe. Cold Blood is available for Axe. He just needs a big Envenom. Could do a lot of damage, but Smeshka catches him in a cheap shot. He waited perfectly, man. Disarm into a cheap shot instantly to make sure there's no space for the other rogue to even have a chance. Bayek, unfortunately, is going to be able to hammer down the rogue. Hammer down some justice onto the rogue scum class. What the hell? What are you doing? I see you raise your weapon there for a second. Wait, I actually see a full mug. I like the long, luscious locks you got good there. For some reason, I thought it was like a helm with a hoodie, but no, it's like a crown. I didn't realize that was your hair. I thought it looked like a hoodie for a second, didn't it? From a distance, I think mid-combat, I thought it looked like a hoodie, but it is just long, luscious locks. Blue in particular. Honor rated gear being cheaper, requiring less arena points. Oh, that's good. Push season to start phase 2. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Should be pretty fun, right? It's gonna be, yo, for Maestro, that's so perfect. Going for a bigger arena. This is why I really love Toberon. Because for a lot of these casters, this gives an opportunity to really play some of that kite-based gameplay or range-based gameplay. So for him to drop down the totem to trap Bayek in place, it is huge for him. It is awesome. That Ascendance proc, by the way, is lasting for quite a while. Knock up onto Bayek as he does remove with his Dark Dwarven Racial the Flame Shock, but he's still in trouble. Maestro with a wall, just trying to see if he can keep the pressure pelting down onto Bayek. Bayek with a full immunity is going to go with the Earth Elemental Stun, which is physical. He can't remove that. There's going to be some healing surges out for Maestro. He does need to be very, very careful. He no longer has a trinket. He needs to be very careful with Bayek. Next, Taj, you have to ground it. You have to find a way to prevent that as best as you can. Lava Burst flying. Another big proc of Ascendance. It is huge. Does get hit with a stun. But Bayek, I think, is looking to play defensively. Is going to go for Searing Glare. Is going to try to see if he can stay a bit aggressive. Leap for Maestro. Just try to see if he can run out of there. Bulwark Totem does go down. And he got himself big zap, big damage onto Bayek, ready to go. Bayek still getting harassed by that Earth Elemental, which is going to give Maestro plenty of healing, plenty of extra health to work with here for at least a minute or so. That thing is up. It's going to be a trinket on Bayek. Maestro, again, needs to make sure that when he does get hit with a Hodge, he needs to pre-ground it. He needs to pre-ground the next Hodge. That is the only way I think that he keeps himself in this. Is going to go for a lasso as soon as Bayek goes around the corner. Knocking him at a distance. Keeping him at bay. Got himself lots of procs. Shield of it is barely going to keep him covered. And that thing pops so easily. Maestro trying to see if he can back up out of it. Trying to avoid the Hodge. Because he knows Bayek is trying to go around the pillar and land the Hodge ASAP. Kind of charging towards Bayek, trying to see if he can bait him. He knows the Bayek is immediately going to go for a Hodge as soon as he sees him. He knows it. Yeah, it goes. There it goes. Into lay on hands. Bayek was prepared. He knew that if that Hodge does not connect, they need to have an answer. You only had an answer. Immediate axe onto Bayek, backing up out of there. That was so good for Maestro. And you got a trinket coming back up. So whether you ground the next Hodge or whether you have a trinket, you have a wall. So you're actually in a good spot. Bayek does have a bubble. Bayek has a bubble, but you have a Burrow coming up really, really soon. So you actually get some counters. You actually got some good counters. Bayek with a blind does not connect. We'll have to bubble this. We'll have to bubble super early unless he takes huge hits. Maestro is going to leap away. He got a wall in case he needs to. May need to pre-wall it. May want to pre-wall it. Big charge around the corner. Does get him some movement while casting. Is going to go for a pre-wall. Bayek is out in the open. Maestro with a Hex. Stormkeeper is available. Do you have a big go here? You're just trying to keep himself alive here. No Hodge for a second, so he's going to be okay. Bayek needs to land a kill right here if possible. I don't know if you can go for Searing. Shield Defense is going to keep you lively, but a Root is going to keep you at a distance. Maestro got himself plenty of procs. Lava Burst flying. Does he have enough? One more hit. One more hit. Oh, he does land it. Oh, man. This was the perfect arena for a Shaman to show their chops, man. Unfortunately, does not hit Leo with a totem. I'm not sure why. That was unfortunate. I feel like that totem should have hit Leo. Maybe some line of sight shenanigans. Leo does end up trying to spell steal some spell from Maestra. I don't know if he's going to spell steal from him. I don't think there's anything he could. The guy's just down. Yeah, so I think it might be, yeah. I don't think he has anything for Rest in Hell. What can he spell steal from Rest in Hell? Can he spell steal Fellow Eruption? Like the stun? Chaos Nova maybe? I don't care what I'm doing today. Dude, Dan, you're the Shaman? You're doing fine, man. You're doing fine, my guy. Honestly, if that is you, you're doing fantastic. You're doing great. I don't know what happened with that totem, though. That totem does not seem to be consistent, and that's not on your end. That's on Blizzard's end, honestly. I don't think they even expected for that totem to like be used as a grip, right? It just players started to use it because it became cool tech, but it never worked consistently. I almost feel like maybe they should just change it so that totem has a grip element behind it, right? You drop it, and it maybe grips all enemies within 20 yards of the totem into it. And then it, like, you can move it once or something. I think something like that would look cool. I think it would be sick. So many players use it that way. Rest in Hell, try to see if he can stand up on Leo. He's going to go for the darkness. Leo got himself the Pillar of Frost ready to go. Lots of damage. Grip and Rest in Hell out of the darkness, which gives him an opportunity to crack in some big obliterate crits. He's just going to end up backing up out of this. Rest in Hell got himself meta form. Is going to give him a little bit more healing. Massive Blade cleaves onto Leo. He got himself defenses. The question is, when is he going to use them? Death Pact is available. AMS is also available. I think AMZ is available. Trinket out for us now, as there's a lot of damage out for Leo. He's going to go for an immune with the first aid. Leo's not in a great spot. Neither is Resident. You can grip the Nether. He just interrupted that self-heal. That's huge. Charge in by Rest in Hell. Silenced out for a second. Still got a lot of damage and fights through the frost. Landing a kill onto Leo. Charging out towards Curdy immediately. I think he just tried to maximize why he's got himself the Metamorphosis. Try to get as much leech healing as possible out of it. But I don't know if he's going to be able to do much. Blur is available. He got himself the last little Fell Blade onto Curdy. And down he goes. Best I can do is take a totem away. Yeah, they probably would. Honestly, I feel like Blizzard would take a totem away in that situation. Yeah, I think they would. Actually. I think they would. I feel like if you were like, hey, can you make the totem better? They're like, best I can do is just remove it. They are on their pruned arc with Midnight, pruning a lot of abilities and talents, so I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, usually we'll see. We'll see. Maybe, you know, maybe they'll surprise me at some point. Arcad does land the kill into Curdy. Curdy did have to use everything for a Demon Hunter and I guess a Paladin, unless you have like literally everything to work with and like no dampening. I don't know if you can really win a lot of those duels. And it comes down to Young as the last mages over on the team 2, trying to see if he can fight through not only Paladin, but then a Shadow Priest right after. Paladin is definitely going to be his toughest matchup. So if you can defeat the Paladin, and if Guerres gives him like a bit of that honor duel, rest up, heal up, maybe get some mage food, he might be able to actually pull it off. He's having to burn through a lot of mana very quickly. Going for spell steals is going to be an immunity off for Arcad, as Young got himself a bit of an Invis, shifting power while on the move into an ice block before Arcad can land any interrupts or damage, which is probably pretty good for Young. Does bust out of it very, very quickly though, because dampening is so high, he's not going to be able to get a lot of healing out of it anyway. But he's still stuck in combat. He can't really sit down for some mage food or anything. Hand of Freedom up really early, trying to spell steal it as early as possible. And Young going for a quick poly. Does eat a Dawnlight from a distance though. The Wake of Ashes and Dawnlight damage is going to be able to reach a Meteor. Slamming down onto Arcad. Big explosion from the Frost Bomb. This could be an opportunity for Young to press the offensives. Does he have a blink? He does have a blink to break out of it. Laying hands out for the Paladin. He's still got a bubble. Young does have a second block. Is going to go for that cold snap in case he needs to block this real quick. Breath does not connect. I think might be looking for a bubble here. That is a lot of damage out of the Paladin. Yes, does go for a block. I think it's good that he even blocked, even though he went behind the pillar, so like Arcad can't hit him. That judgment was already mid-air, so block is the only thing that was going to guarantee that you stay alive. Blind out for Arcad. Young does not have anything left, so he does end up getting taken out. That is rough, man. That is so rough. The Shaman did really good, by the way. That was crazy. That was crazy good. I love it. I feel like we don't really see Shamans versus Paladins that much, but we did see Sabo as an enhancement beat Paladins twice in a row, so that was incredible. And anytime I see Shaman beat a Pally, I feel like it's a matchup where Pally in most cases wins, so it's awesome to see, man.